everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R chat for Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Apparently, Claire thought that Audra looked thirsty, so she watered her. Okay, this rivalry is officially a thing, and I need to put a poll on it right away. I can't believe I haven't asked you guys this question before, but this is the week. This is clearly the week. Audra versus Claire. Who are you rooting for? Oh, it's so hard to choose, but let's try. yrchat.com if you would like to cast your vote on that. I cannot wait to see those results, because I mean, it could go either way, but it can't go both ways. I have to say, one of the reasons why I love soaps so much is because I get to watch people making bad decisions over and over again. And honestly, again, Audra was running her mouth, and again, Claire decided to make it physical. They both made bad decisions. Same bad decisions as last time. Claire just reached right up. She just glanced down, almost happenstance, grabbed the glass of water, splashed it right into Audra's face. So much more mild than a strangling, which is what we had last time. Actually, it seems almost like we're de-escalating if we've gone from strangling to a splash of water in the face. Seems like it should escalate, and instead it's de-escalating. But the thing that was different about this time, and this was the best part, was Holden laughing the moment he saw Audra standing there, soaking wet in the face. He knew right when to step in between them. He could sense a fight was coming, and he stepped in between them. But the second the water hit Audra's face, Holden's hand flew to his mouth, and he was trying to suppress a laugh. I think Holden is loving this, honestly. I think every bit of this works in Holden's favor, and he knows it, because the more he can be on Claire's side, then the better his chances of winning her are. And next week, it looks like Claire and Holden are going to be spending New Year's together, probably partying their way through Genoa City, Vesper after Vesper after Vesper. But wait a minute, record scratch. I kind of thought Claire and Kyle were getting back together. Am I the only one who was under that impression? Then, like, all of a sudden this week, Claire is totally back together with Holden. Kyle was wrapping her Christmas gift, wondering if he'd ever be able to give it to her. And then she's with Victoria talking about being attracted to Holden. And then Kyle and Claire are talking at society, getting along just fine despite the Newman Abbott war. I mean, it really almost seemed like, oh, well, they're getting back together. And then in walks Holden, and Kyle totally pulls the plug. Says, we're done. We've had some fun. But if Holden is what you want, Claire, then there's just no place for me here. Bye. And he walks off and feels very resolved in this decision. What happened? When Claire came back from LA, she dropped Holden like a hot potato, literally a very hot potato. And then she literally went back to Kyle. Right back to Kyle. She stopped by Kyle's house on Thanksgiving, and she initiated the Thanksgiving kiss. Do you guys remember this? And then Claire initiated the working together toward getting Audra out of town. And that was the last we saw of them together. Totally on the same page. So what exactly happened in the gap that made Kyle so insecure and made Claire suddenly wanting Holden again after she said she didn't trust him? I feel like we just took a step back in time. Cane got a new office. A new office on the Cane train. Let me explain. I won't refrain. I'll use my brain and make it plain. Apparently, they just cut a side right out of the train car, big old hole in the side of that dining car, and then expanded it. Just built an office right onto that area. And I know that we're still in the train because Cane has a picture of a train in the train office. My brain can't handle all this train. That's commitment, really. In a train, looking at a picture of a train. I love a new set. I won't complain. It is nice. I mean, it's nice to have a new little nook for him and Phyllis to have sex in while Lily walks in seeing him. You know, I wanted for Cane to make up his mind, and I'm not getting that. It still feels to me like Cane wants Lily, but he'll take Phyllis. And I don't think that's fair to anyone, really. As hot as Cane and Phyllis are, you know, I've always kind of been surprised that she puts up with him because he's so hot or cold when it comes to her. He always has treated her rather dismissively. And I think it's just that her energy matches that. I think Phyllis is always going to want what she can't have. And so the second she feels him slipping away, boom! Christmas boobs right in his face. Right for Lily to see. And of course Lily was going to see. She had just come from that lovely dinner with Tracy. And Tracy was essentially just convincing Lily to give love another chance. That's so Tracy. Effortlessly and always optimistic. That dinner was so wonderful. I really love seeing Lily and Tracy bonding over their shared connection through Colleen. I'm just so grateful that Y&R remembered that and took the time to show it, because I really think that it was good for Tracy, and I think it was good for Lily too. I think those two maybe need each other a little more often, because for Tracy, Lily is this connection to her daughter who would have been the same age and was best friends with, and then for Lily, I mean, Tracy is like a second mother figure, best friend's mom. That is so special. And I love it so much, and I appreciate that we actually saw it, unlike all of Tracy's dinners with Amy. Like Jack mentioned this week. Tracy and Amy just whooping it up all over Genoa City, and we never get to see it. Noah got knocked out. And when he woke up, Sienna was gone, presumably being held at gunpoint by Annie, but maybe not. Who knows? Sienna could have gotten the best of Annie, and she could have run off on her own to save Noah, or, in the name of saving Noah the trouble. We really don't know where Sienna is. We didn't see it. But Noah called his parents right away, who came to Crimson Lights and chatted with him about it instead of taking him down to the police station to tell the story of how the gun was pulled on him. Love that decision making. Who needs the GCPD anyway? They're worthless. But while Nick and Sharon and Noah were having that conversation, Matt called Noah's cell phone, and Matt was at the Genoa City motel where nothing good ever happens. But we didn't see Sienna in the background. She wasn't like being held hostage or tied to a chair or anything there. We didn't hear her struggling voice or anything like that. So Matt wasn't with her. But Noah was trying to negotiate that he was like, not really getting anywhere, but still. Sharon grabbed the phone away from him and yelled at Matt to leave her family alone. And then that kind of derailed the whole conversation. Matt hung up the phone. Nick called him right back, and then Nick told Matt that he is ready to make a deal. And then in next week's previews, we see Nick and Matt meeting in the park. I am curious about this. What do you have up your sleeve, Nicholas Newman? Let's hear it. Wow, Sally really let Adam have it over the Newman Media article about Jabot. I'm really curious to know where you guys stand on this week, because to me, I don't know, the article just didn't seem like the world's biggest deal. I mean, I guess when we're comparing AI financial warfare to this Jabot article, it just seems like small potatoes. And really, Jabot taking their entire business offline seems newsworthy to me. And it's also something that the public would be wondering about, since Jabot sells products and presumably their products were no longer available. But we know it wasn't really about that. We know that this was really about Victor wanting to retaliate against Jack in the only way that he still had left. Claire had an interesting talk with Victor this week, and I thought it was interesting to hear him tell the story and see the flashbacks of why he hates Jack so much. Because, from Claire's perspective, she's sort of new to the whole thing, and she has to be asking herself, why do you hate him so much? And of course, Victor remembered the night back in the hotel where they just have different perspectives on what went down. But then also, Sally had this confrontation with Adam about the whole thing, which was less of a talk, less of a conversation, I would say. More of a dragging. She kind of dragged him. She accused him of being no better than his father, of being just like his father. And the thing is, she kept saying, well, when we were together, you were so much better. When we were together, you were actually trying. And I just thought, that seems like it's about more than just the article, Sally. I think it's clear that Sally is scrambling to hold on to the fraying edges of her world. It's like the men in her life will only stay stable, as long as she's right there. The men in her life can only stay right where she wants them as long as she is keeping a close eye on them, making sure that everything doesn't fall apart. And that has got to be exhausting. And I feel for her. But I also feel like she kind of took it out on Adam a little unnecessarily and in public. And then that caused Chelsea to snap too. Chelsea was already on the edge. She didn't need this because, I mean, as soon as Chelsea showed up, Sally unleashed on her too. And Chelsea's got her whole own set of issues. She also left a company to go, that she had her whole design career. I mean, she's in the exact same boat as Sally was. She left her design career to go work for a media company. They're just competing is all. They're just on different sides of the fence is all. I don't know why Chelsea's all of a sudden questioning whether this was a good idea. Of course it wasn't a good idea. You're working for Victor's media company, but you don't want to keep publishing Victor's stories. Okay. But that just puts Adam right in the middle of everyone else's needs and opinions. Victor, Jack, Chelsea, and now Sally too. I don't know. Maybe now in the new year might be a good time for Adam to consider a new career path. It was really fun to see Victoria and Billy sharing their Charlie Brown Christmas together. I loved the foil, making the foil. Has anybody ever done that? I've done that. We used to make the foil star for the top of the tree, and we strung popcorn too. It was just a very homey, kind of classic retro Christmas, which really worked perfectly in Billy's mid-century styled house. I really enjoyed Victoria and Billy and their kids and Sally being included. I thought Johnny and Katie were a lot of fun. And, it's important to still have the youngins around at Christmas. They were the only kids. I mean, they're getting older now, but the only youngins that were around for Christmas. Johnny really especially does not look so young anymore. I think Johnny's going to be ready for his own storyline soon. Yes, please. He's hilarious. And when he came through the door carrying that little wimpy tree, but so proud of it, I was dying. That was so funny. And it was the only tree that was available on Christmas Eve. But it was still a tree. The thought is what counts. Now, where's the trimmings? Oh no, Billy forgot them in storage. He managed to get the Christmas lights, but not the ornaments. I don't know, that could be a sign Billy's fallen off the wagon, unable to follow through with basic tasks. I'm concerned. Do you think that Sally's fear about Billy is warranted? I mean, I guess anybody's fear about Billy is warranted at any point. But Sally did have a long private talk with Victoria about it, which Billy kind of overheard the tail end of. But it was really explaining a lot more about Sally's life growing up. Now, I have to say, Sally did this same poor me, bad childhood thing on Thanksgiving. I don't need to hear this every year. Twice a year. In fact, I would much rather have Sally's family cast onto the show to actually give her a story that's taking place on screen rather than continuing to have her bring up her past in an abstract way. But that being said, I do think that this worked for Sally and especially worked well in the Christmas episode because Christmas, although it's a very happy time for many, lots of happy memories, I mean, Christmas also represents a lot of sadness and dysfunction for a lot of people too. And so I think Sally actually represented that side of it, which we don't normally see. We don't normally see characters digging into, sad Christmases other than Victor. But so I found this to be very interesting. Sally remembered a Christmas from when she was a little girl and her father had promised to buy her a sewing machine. And then sure enough, Christmas morning comes, no sewing machine, and worse, no dad. It explains a lot because Sally is someone who has learned to live with disappointment. And I think that connects her back to Billy. I think Sally understands and can identify the patterns of addiction And if she's worried about Billy, then that does make me worried about Billy, because Billy is never still for very long. Billy and Kyle had a really great scene this week, surprisingly great, where Billy was reflecting on his stability that he's managed to maintain and trying to help Kyle find some direction as well. I love the moment where Billy looked at the tree and he rolled the Jackie ornament in his hand, and he just remembered something that John used to say: the only person who can stop you from living your best life is you. I loved that little bit of classic wisdom. I loved seeing the wiser version of Billy, but I also know there's a good chance that it won't last much longer. But I think there's also a possibility of a twist. I remember Billy and Kyle being at odds many times over the years. It just has always felt like Kyle doesn't really think much of Billy, but Kyle really seemed to appreciate the advice. And so that makes me wonder if there could possibly be a twist. Could Kyle be falling off the wagon this new year? And maybe Billy will be the one to help him back on. Nikki was mad at Victor, but not enough to say no to the diamonds. Marie Antoinette's mother's diamond necklace. I fully believe it was that. I fully believe that Y&R had that necklace on loan from the Marie Antoinette's mother collection. Not like it was some fake fabulous prop, from the prop department. Y&R actually got Marie Antoinette's mother's necklace for the Christmas episode. That's what I'm gonna believe. Oh, the magic of Hollywood. I was kind of sort of rooting for a Nikki Victor breakup. Just for a little while. Just to mix things up. So when Victor gave her the gift, I was thinking, no, Nikki, don't take the gift. Stay mad, stick to your guns. I want the drama. And then, of course, I felt a little bad, but I also felt her conflict. I felt like she wanted to take the necklace, but she was hesitant about it, like it was tempting her, because even when she turned around and let him put the necklace on, she just looked like she wasn't sure if she was doing the right thing. And I don't know if it's all going to go back to the way it was next week, but she really seemed like she wasn't sure. And then you compare that to Jack putting Diane's Coco Chanel necklace on her. When she turned around and had her necklace put on, she was smiling and happy. And even though Jack and Diane are going through something right now, they are very much united, more than ever in many ways. In fact, Jack was reinforcing to Diane that she is integral to the family. Everything that's gone on has made her an even more valuable member of the family, a true Abbott. And I think it was Tracy kind of reinforced that too, really made her feel part of the family. I think it's interesting that Victor and Jack basically had the same Christmas gift idea for their ladies. Famous necklace. And then same kind of for Nikki and Diane, famous book. Like Nikki got Victor a journal, one of Hannah Arendt's journals. She was a German philosopher. And then Diane got Jack a first edition signed copy of Max Factor's autobiography. So both very appropriate, but in the exact same vein. Like they all went shopping at the exact same Christmas concept store. But no matter what, Jack does not have the "my mother left me at an orphanage on Christmas Eve" story to tell. That really sealed the deal for Nikki, I think. Nikki could not resist the Christmas kiss after that. She was not going to leave Victor hanging on Christmas Eve feeling alone. We saw that other flashback too, where she came to visit him on another Christmas Eve. And they were fighting, another Christmas where they were fighting, and she brought him a tree. And it was just so symbolic, because it's like no matter where their relationship is, human to human, I think Nikki knows that that was a traumatic event for him. And she was worried about him. I don't know, did we already know that? Did we know? We know that Victor's mother left him at an orphanage, but did we know that she left him on Christmas Eve? That is especially cruel timing. This week, Y&R aired a Victor Newman Scrooge-style episode from December 2010, where Victor had his father visit him and then tell him he was going to be visited by 3 ghosts. The ghost of Christmas past, Hope, one of my favorites, Angel Hope, who takes him all the way back to the orphanage to confront his past. Then we had the ghost of Christmas present, Sabrina. She must have just died at that time, and she took him around to the Abbott mansion to see how happy they were. And then the ghost of Christmas future, which should have been Colleen, and I think it should have been her in the flesh. It was meant to represent Colleen, but it was just the classic hooded figure. And the ghost of Christmas present shows him that Nikki is married to Jack, and Nick is becoming just like him, complete with his own portrait on the wall, and then takes him to his funeral, where the family's talking about how he was dead for a week before anybody even found him. And then, of course, Victor wakes up from his dream and immediately runs around town trying to correct the error of his ways. It must have been an amazing episode that I didn't get to see. It makes me so mad that Paramount Plus never puts the classic episodes on the site. I mean, I knew that, but I thought in the back of my head that I would be able to find it on YouTube at least. But it was nowhere. The full episode was nowhere. I had to go and get a photo recap, which is just, I appreciated that it was there, but it just wasn't the same. And I had Christmas at my house this year, so I couldn't exactly ignore everyone and sit down to watch the episode. So I'm really sorry that I can't give a more thoughtful, longer, mature review of it, because I think it would have been really cool to do that. If you're one of my email peeps, then I actually sent out a Merry Christmas email this week, and I included a link to the Y&R chat for that week in December 2010, 15 years ago, with my little short choppy hairdo talking about that Victor Scrooge episode. And so I just think that was really interesting, and it would have been cool if I could have done another classic, to look at an episode from 2010 in 2025 and then have my view of it from back then, and then my view of it now would have been really interesting to be able to juxtapose, but oh well. If, by the way, you are not one of my email peeps and you would like to sign up, it's at yrchat.com/storylines. It's just a, little email I send out if I'm, have an occasional flashback or musing or whatever. And that's just what was on my mind this week. I would love to get to the bottom of why Paramount Plus does not list those episodes. They pull everything at the end of the season anyway, so why not just put those up in the feed, those classic episodes, so I can see them? What would it hurt? I don't understand. Is it a licensing thing? Is it a formatting thing? And does anybody know where I can watch these full classic episodes online? What's the trick? Where can I see it I think I need a Christmas miracle to solve this problem once and for all. So much for a peaceful Christmas. Who said that? So much for a peaceful Christmas. If you think you know, you should go to yrchat.com to find out if you're right. Let's read some of your comments for the week, starting with what I think is the greatest comment of the week from Michelle, who says, CBS gave us a gift in this Christmas classic episode. When I was invited by my family to spend Christmas afternoon at their house, I told them I would on one condition. At 1 o'clock, we must watch Y&R. Family that aren't frequent viewers marveled at what a quality episode it was and the impeccable acting from Eric Braeden. We reminisced about how much our grandmother loved Y&R. I must have missed it when it originally aired, as it was new to me, and I was stunned at who was represented by the ghosts of Christmas yet to be. What great writing. Michelle, I love you. The fact that you would make it a condition and then somehow bring people who aren't necessarily, inclined to want to watch the show to actually draw them in and say, hey, why don't we give this a watch? And that they liked it and that you guys bonded over it and remembered that it was a show Grandma watched too. So, I mean, that's just so very cool. Yeah, I think that was a great classic episode to air too. And it had really good timing because it works for what's going on with the show today too. Sherrod says, as I watched the first 10 minutes of the Christmas episode, it really reinforced it to me that the old trite saying, money cannot make you happy. Victor Newman reflects that wealth may take care of your physical and worldly needs, but it does not fulfill your spiritual ones. Victor Newman became a man without humanity. I truly realize now how sad I feel for Victor Newman. Never thought I'd say that. He hates Jack Abbott because Jack had something he would never get, the love of a father. And even with all her flaws, his mother loved him too. Both Victor's parents abandoned him. So he created a family dynamic where they had to depend on him and therefore could never leave him. That is a sad life to live. Wow, Sherrod. I mean, that is so right on. Victor's feelings for Jack are actually a reflection of how he feels jealous that he does not have that family unit, that closeness. And then you really hit it home where you say Victor went on to create a family dynamic where they couldn't leave him. They're dependent on him. I mean, that is so... it's so smart and so psychological, and honestly that's one of the reasons why I love the show and love the characters. I feel like you don't have to like Victor Newman to like digging into his character. For me, that is fun almost and interesting and fascinating. He's an interesting psychological study that, the why he is the way he is, this grand figure, what played into that, what did he create, what was given to him. I mean, the character aspect, the psychological aspect is most interesting to me. Everything else is just drama and, the backdrop for the plot, everything that he does, all the actions, all the individual situations that he finds himself in, whatever, it's just ongoing plot for, 50 years. But the psychological nature of the character, that's what's most interesting, and that was what was really on display. Brent says, I know it's corny, but I loved the holiday wishes from the cast. That gets me every year. Yeah, Brent, I feel the same way. I had tears when that came on. You better believe it. I cried. And then, it all comes, the revolving door and the happy holidays. I'm like, yes, I whined. I absolutely did. Connie says, the snow-covered GC opening scene, the poinsettia trees at the athletic club, the pink sparkles at society, crimson lights, ceramic mugs, the Newman Ranch and the Abbott mansions decorated to the hilt are traditions that I look forward to each year, and Y&R always delivers the holiday magic. Beautiful comment, Connie. Could not have been said better. Naomi says, the Christmas Eve episode is wonderful. I even got over being mad at Victor. And he didn't even have to buy me a thing. By the end of the episode, I have tears and actual sympathy for Victor. I forgot that he has a fear of his loved ones leaving him. When Nikki threatened to leave him, no wonder he yelled at her. His fear overcame him. Yes, Naomi, that's the theme. That's the theme. Victor's mother left him on Christmas Eve, so Nikki knew that she couldn't do it too. Whoa. I mean, I guess you can never I don't know. He never really has evolved past that abandonment. And I don't know what it's like. I mean, I can't imagine what that would feel like, feeling unwanted or being unable to be taken care of and to just be left. I mean, that, of course, it would have to be part of your, your psychological DNA forever. Russell says, Victor should have given Nikki the AI as a Christmas gift. She would have been so happy. Russell, that is so smart, because that would have been the move. That would have been the move to really, truly show growth if Victor had gifted Nikki the AI. But he didn't. He could have, and he didn't. That speaks volumes. I asked you guys last week if you think Nikki and Victor will actually break up. 76% say no. The vast majority say no, they'll never actually break up. 24% saying yes. Marianne V voted yes, saying Nikki will leave Victor. He is so obsessed with ruining Jack and Jabot. Even Adam and Michael didn't like what he did with Newman Media. I think they will eventually get back together, but not for a while. It's been a while since they broke up. I forgot to mention Michael this week. Lauren and Michael had a conversation about, should Michael be the one to steal the AI to get it back to save the day? I can't believe she gave him the green light to do it. And I loved the moment he said, well, I guess I'll have to get closer to Victor than ever before to pull it off. Yeah, Michael. I guess you'll have to get closer to Victor than ever before. What a chore. We know that's exactly what he wants. There's no way he's going to get closer to Victor, and then at the very last minute, he's not going to do it. Michael's allegiance is to Victor. It's never going to drift. We've seen what happens to Michael when Victor is not a part of his life. He's saying that he's going to do this. He's working himself up for it. He won't do it in the long run, I don't think. Tony voted no to Nikki and Victor breaking up, saying, however, Diane's been talking a lot about Jack's loyalty to Nikki, and Nikki and Jack have been talking over tea a lot. So it seems a storyline that Nikki is available and Jack goes to her defense/rescue, and Diane's upset, so Diane might see it as an opportunity to team with Victor, even if it is just to get the AI and somehow take Jabot for herself. This is going to be the story to watch in 2026. I mean, I don't know what Y&R is going to do. If there's any chance that Nikki and Victor do break up and that there could be something, even if surface level, for Nikki and Jack, I mean, that really blows open the story. That really makes some new things possible. Connie says, Lily has been such a pain lately, and our resident guardian angel, Tracy, has been sent to guide her back to a wonderful life of peace and joy. Clarence earned his wings in the original film version, and as far as I'm concerned, Tracy already has her wings and a pretty halo too. What a lovely performance and heartwarming message for the holidays. And so relevant too, because Victor's schemes are what led to Colleen's death, and Tracy still found a way to forgive him And then Tracy turned around and gave Victor Colleen's heart. So yes, Tracy exemplifies forgiveness and that magic. Naomi says, Y&R gave me the gift of that wonderful and insightful conversation between Tracy and Lily. Tracy is so pretty and brings a lightness to each scene. Her kindness and warmth toward Diane was so nice. Merry Christmas to you all, and thank you all for your great fun and friendship. Oh, Naomi, yes. Yeah, and and it's Tracy just has this laugh and this smile, and sometimes she's smiling when she's crying, and it's so believable. She knows exactly how to tug the heartstrings. Victoria says it was wonderful to see Tracy catching up with Lily at Society. Tracy looked radiant. She has such sparkle. Tracy is just the person Lily needs to voice her feelings about Cane. Tracy has gone rough through betrayal with Martin. How disappointing for Lily that she won't see her children this Christmas. She thinks Cane's the reason. Tracy's message was forgiveness and love for others and ourselves. A great holiday message. Yes, that scene was so needed and so lovely. Then we have Claire and Audra. Comna says, I'm kind of loving the Claire-Audra rivalry. Am I the only one rooting for Audra? Well, that's what I am hoping to find out with the poll this week. Who's rooting for who here? It's hard. I mean, I guess if I absolutely had to pick, I guess I pick Audra. So no, you're not alone. Tavi says, I like Claire, but she needs to stop putting her hands on Audra. I know, it's Claire that keeps initiating the physical stuff. Diana says, I do not feel sorry for Noah and Sienna after they put themselves in danger. Apparently having a cup of coffee at Crimson Lights is looking at a view of the city, and it's worth risking their lives and safety over. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you're right, Diana. It's hard to feel sorry for them when they could just as easily have hung out at the ranch in the game room and chilled, and they could have gone for a stroll on the vast ranch grounds. They didn't need to go out. Oh, Stephen says, Chelsea, listening quietly to Adam needle Sally about the old Billy returning is beyond jarring. It's peak hypocrisy considering she and Adam have returned to their knees doing Victor's bidding. Just weeks ago, they were lamenting Victor's control and vowing to stand up to him, yet here we are, doing nothing but enabling his vendetta. Chelsea knows Newman Media doesn't produce journalism. It's just a weapon against whoever Victor's at war with. Making Chelsea's complicity impossible to ignore. Yeah, you're right. I guess I just felt it was so small. The part where Adam was needling Sally was so small in comparison to the part where she was needling him. But yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I like it. Okay. Last week I asked you guys if you had to pick one place in Genoa City to spend the holidays. Well, most people picked either the Newman house or the Abbott house. Second runner-up was Crimson Lights. Third was Chancellor Park, and also a ride on Cane's train car that's been transformed into the Polar Express for Christmas. I like that answer a lot. Christmas on the Cane train. But all right, now here we have come to the end of the year, which means we have come to a little tradition, little Y&R chat tradition dating back 9 years already to 2016, where we make predictions for the upcoming year, and then at the end of the year read them and find out what came true and what didn't. So I went back through our 2025 predictions this week, and we'll pluck a couple and we'll see what came true and what didn't, starting with Paris, who predicted that Nate and Audra will break up. Happened. After Nate's mother, Olivia, comes into town and shares her concerns about their relationship. That part did not happen, but should. Olivia should have come back in 2025. Tina Cole predicted that Damien will find a hot romance and is the troubled new bad boy just misunderstood in this town. Well... work at Newman Publishing and will become a publisher for Tracy's books and could become good friends with Tracy and Alan. Well, pretty much essentially all predictions regarding Damien or Cole were off base. Add to that, Sharon W. predicted Summer and Chance would get married. Well, about Chance, I mean, who the heck would have predicted that in 2025, Y&R would kill Damien and Cole and Chance? I never would have seen that coming in my crystal ball. Ron predicted a double wedding for Kyle and Claire and Summer and Chance. It sure seemed like it was headed that way, but that didn't quite work out. Tony's 2025 prediction was that Sharon Case would retire from Y&R. Heather would have a twin, which could be explained by Paul being in the cult, so we forgot. Or Daisy having plastic surgery to look like her. Oh, that's interesting. You know, about Sharon Case, she has had some struggles in 2025. Sharon's 2025 has been all pain. My prediction for 2025 was that there was going to be a Nick and Sharon all-out super mega soap wedding, and we didn't get that. Instead, it was Sharon getting kidnapped once, then kidnapped again, and she was just coming off of the Heather murdery thing, and then now here it is at the end of the year, another rapist has come back. It's been all torture for Sharon all year long. It was Danny and Christine who got the super mega soap wedding. Diana predicted Tucker will return to Genoa City and become an item with Phyllis when they open a new company together. Ooh, Diana, this happened. It just wasn't Tucker, it was Cane. Sue W. says, I continue to hope and therefore predict that Sally is revealed as Phyllis's long-lost daughter. Why hasn't that happened? Now would be a great time to do it, especially since we've been hearing Sally talk about her family. I mean, who knows? Maybe, whatever. They could come up with some way to explain it. Robin predicted Mariah and Tessa will have rough waters because of the blame game after their ordeal, and Tessa will turn to Daniel. Ding, ding, ding. Tessa and Daniel have much better chemistry than he did with Heather. Ooh, we got one. Nice. Oh, what else? Samuel predicted Ian comes up with a plot to kidnap Aria while having Tessa killed, framing Jordan for both the killing to gain Mariah's sympathy. Oh, wow. Yeah, it did seem like Ian was going to kidnap, because Ian was manipulating Tessa at the time, and it did seem like he was poised to maybe do a kidnapping on Aria. So that was a good prediction. It just didn't quite go that way. Victoria predicted Claire would meet her demise in 2025. She will sacrifice herself to save the Newmans from Aunt Jordan and Ian Ward. Aunt Jordan and Ian Ward were dominating the show this time last year. But yeah, Claire definitely has become she's started dominating the show on her own, but without them. Marianne V predicted Victor will continue to make schemes. He'll also try to take over Chabot and use Claire to do it. Ooh, that was almost true. Who would have predicted that he just tried to use AI to do it? Marianne also predicted that Claire would marry Kyle only to have him fall back in love with Summer, just like what happened with Lola. Yeah, we had lots of Kyle, Summer, Claire predictions last year. That was the clear triangle that was supposed to be happening. Connie predicted Kyle was the baby daddy to Claire. And Stephen also predicted Claire being pregnant. She and Kyle will have a baby boy by Labor Day. Little Victor Jack Newman Abbott may warm his grandparents' heart next Christmas. I'll tell you what I like about that prediction. It's bold. That's exactly how I like them. The bolder, the better. You just never know where we're going to end up next year at this time. But that is not going to stop us from trying to predict it anyway. YRChat.com, the 2026 prediction thread is officially open, and I'm only opening it for 2 weeks only. 2 weeks is all you're going to have to get in your predictions, because otherwise then we just end up making short-term predictions. So I'm giving you this 2-week only window. Go to the website, lock in your prediction. I am going to seal it up in a box and look forward to opening the time capsule next year. But you got to go to the website to do it, yrchat.com. I'm going to send it out to everybody because I'm curious to hear the predictions. But if you want it to be official, go to the website, because I can't check all the places. Go to the website, because that's the one box. I just got to put them all in one box. And there I can go back next year and know exactly where they are and pull them out and see how it goes. I mean, where do you think we will be at this time next year? So think about the whole course of the year, and this gives you the freedom to be big and be bold. So get your crystal ball. Let me know where you think we'll be at this time next year, and then go to yrchat.com to get your predictions included. Then we're going to seal up that box and then see what sticks and see what doesn't. Okay, everybody, that is going to do it for me. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. This is the last time I'm going to be seeing you guys in 2025. So I will see you next year. I love you guys. Have a really happy new year. Bye.